Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're pulling back the velvet curtain on true Hollywood royalty, but we're focusing on a name that has spent, well, decades trying to avoid any kind of recognition. Joseph Luft.
Joey Luft.
Exactly. And the whole catalyst for this was a headline that promised to reveal, leaked details about Judy Garland's most private child.
It's the ultimate paradox of fame, isn't it?
It is.
Joey Luft, the son of Judy Garland and Sid Luft, he is maybe the last truly private figure in that family.
Which is saying something, considering his half-sister is Liza Minnelli.
A time con, right. And his sister is Lorna Luft. He's just meticulously, deliberately avoided the spotlight.
And that's our mission for this deep dive. We're going through a stack of sources, reports, and even the siblings' own writings to understand the incredible pressure they grew up in.
Right.
And how these three individuals, Liza, Lorna, and Joey, developed three completely different strategies to just survive being Judy Garland's children.
To set the scene for you, just quickly, Judy Garland had Liza with the director Vincente Minnelli, and then came Lorna and Joey, both with producer Sid Luft. So they all share this incredible genetic talent, but they also shared a childhood that was, to put it mildly, turbulent.
Yeah, full of instability, high-stakes finance, just the chaos that followed their mother.
Exactly. So the real question is, how do you get out from under that? How do you escape that kind of shadow?
Let's start with him then, the source of the mystery, Joey Luft.
The man whose privacy is the story.
Yes. The headline here is his calculated retreat. He didn't just step away from the cameras, he disappeared behind them.
That decision is so telling. Joey, born in 1955, he picked a career that was entirely technical, supportive.
Not performance-based at all.
No, he studied photography and sound. He worked on movie sets. I mean, just think about the psychology of that for a second.
Right.
Performance is all about emotional exposure, vulnerability, submitting yourself to the chaos.
But choosing the structured, controlled world of a camera or a sound booth.
It's a deliberate act. It's seeking stability. It's seeking anonymity.
It's the total anti-star path. He prioritized his psychological balance over any kind of inherited stardom.
100%. While Liza and Lorna were grappling with that performance torch, Joey was just looking for the quiet certainty of a technical role, a role where his name wasn't the headline.
It's a form of self-preservation, really.
Absolutely. The celebrity machine consumed his parents, and his sisters chose to engage with it in their own ways. Joey chose to be the guy who makes the magic happen without ever having to step in front of the lens.
And it seems like that anonymity allowed him to hold on to the most positive memories of his mother.
It really does, because when he does speak, which is rare, that's what he talks about, the person, not the myth.
Wants to humanize her.
Yes. He's quoted describing her as the most caring person with the greatest sense of humor.
That's a perspective you just don't hear often from people who were so close to her during her later struggles.
It is rare. And it just proves how successful his privacy strategy was. He managed to separate the icon's trauma from the mother's love.
But he did take one major step into the public eye, didn't he?
Yeah.
Back in 2014.
He did. He debuted a Judy Garland concert with Joey Luft. But even that feels like a very carefully managed compromise.
I was going to ask about that. Doesn't staging a concert put him right back in the spotlight he worked so hard to avoid?
Well, see, the way he framed it was purely as, historical documentation. Education.
I see.
He said the entire point of the show was to educate people and show who she was. He wasn't up there singing. He was curating, preserving, presenting.
So he was using his technical mindset to honor her.
Exactly, without making himself vulnerable to that same scrutiny. And it took him almost 6 decades to even make that one move. That really cements him as the private preserver.
That dive into Joey's retreat is fascinating, especially when you put it next to the sibling who did the exact opposite.
Lorna Luft.
The one who actively chose to manage the family's public life. Let's shift to her now, the chronicler and keeper of the flame.
The difference in the emotional labor between them is just vast. Lorna, who was born in 1952, has her own really successful career. She's a fantastic singer and actress.
A lot of people know her from Grease, too.
Right, and major Broadway work. But her real lasting contribution to culture is her role as the family's official voice.
And that role was really cemented with her 1998 memoir, Me and My Shadows, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. That book was an act of emotional excavation.
It was one of the first truly candid, often painful, looks inside that family's life.
Yes, the addiction, the financial chaos, the pressure on the kids. By writing that, Lorna claimed ownership of the narrative. She basically told the world, I will tell the story on my own terms before the tabloids write it for us.
And she's continued in that role as the reliable source right up to today, hasn't she? Especially when it comes to updates on Liza.
Absolutely. Lorna acts as the family's calculated
I
spokesperson.
saw she was at an event just recently.
She was at the Red Diamond 95th Anniversary Gala this past November. She gave the update everyone is always asking for.
The update that Liza Minnelli is great. It's such a simple phrase, but it does so much to calm all the speculation.
Precisely. Lorna confirmed Liza is great living in Los Angeles, and she really stressed that even though she's in New York, they talk all the time.
Laughter-filled phone calls, I think was the quote.
Yes. And this kind of public reassurance is a very sophisticated strategy. It's image management by proxy. Lorna gives the press just enough positive detail to neutralize the constant rumors about Liza's health.
Which lets Liza maintain her own hard-won privacy.
Exactly. Lorna handles the visibility, she runs interference, so her older sister doesn't have to.
And Lorna also seems to be the one managing the bigger cultural legacy, specifically anything tied to The Wizard of Oz.
Yes, she's definitely the keeper of the Oz torch. Her recent comments on the new Wicked movie adaptation were very telling.
She loved it, right?
She gave it a huge stamp of approval, said it was everything I wanted it to be, and thanked the director for carrying the legacy forward. It shows her dedication goes beyond just her family. She is actively invested in protecting her mother's heritage in pop culture.
It's a massive responsibility to be the chronicler, especially when you think about the almost unimaginable physical battles that Liza Minnelli has been fighting.
Battles that many doctors said she literally could not win.
Right.
And that's the thing. If Lorna is the chronicler and Joey's the preserver, then Liza. Liza is the ultimate embodiment of defiance, of resilience.
Her life is a testament to turning a medical impossibility into a professional victory.
The most dramatic example, of course, was the crisis she faced back in 2000.
It sounds just terrifying to even read about.
It was devastating. Liza was diagnosed with viral encephalitis.
Which is, for anyone who doesn't know, a severe inflammation of the brain.
Right, often from a virus. For her, it caused partial paralysis, her speech was severely slurred, major coordination issues. And the prognosis from doctors was just brutal. They told her explicitly she would likely never walk or talk again.
For a performer whose entire life is built on her voice and her physicality, that's a death sentence. How do you even respond to that?
Well, she just rejected it immediately. Her mind went straight to self-rehabilitation. We're talking about a defiant physical counterattack on her own brain damage.
So what did she do?
She started practicing the alphabet over and over, forcing her brain and her body to reconnect. She committed to this intense daily schedule of singing and dancing lessons, even when her body was fighting her every step of the way.
So this wasn't just physical therapy. This was her forcing her iconic identity back into existence.
It's an unbelievable act of will. It really shows that for Liza, performance is survival.
And it worked.
It did. It took immense effort, but just 2 years later, in 2002, she staged this triumphant comeback tour. The name was perfect. Liza's back.
That tour must have felt like the ultimate victory lap against every doctor who wrote her off.
Absolutely. But that level of resilience, it comes at a price, doesn't it? Her body has basically kept all the receipts from a lifetime of relentless physical performance.
It really has. I mean, when you list out the physical toll, it's stark.
It's an inventory of what her career cost her. She lives with chronic scoliosis that started when she was a kid. She has 2 false hips, a knee that's wired up, 3 crushed discs in her spine.
It's not just medical jargon. That list is the physical archive of her dedication. It's what she sacrificed to stay an icon.
Which makes how she manages her public appearances today so fascinating.
Right? She can't just walk out onto a red carpet, but she refuses to look vulnerable.
And this is where you see her genius for theatricality and for image control. Take her recent, very rare public sighting at the Dancers Against Cancer Gala.
She knew she couldn't handle the walk down the red carpet. That would just invite speculation, unflattering photos.
So she skipped it entirely. She controlled the optics of her entrance.
And then she pulled the ultimate power move.
She made her entrance seated on what was described as a massive velvet throne surrounded by jazz dancers.
Wow.
This is the performer converting a necessary mobility aid because of her orthopedic issues, her post-encephalitis coordination, into a statement of regal, untouchable authority.
She changed the narrative from Liza needs help to Queen Liza has arrived.
Exactly. She turned a limitation into a stage prop. She guaranteed that the memory of the night wasn't her struggle, but her absolute command of the room. That is pure star-level instinct.
It lines up perfectly with that philosophy she shared in a rare interview, a philosophy born from that near-death experience.
Take care of your body because you might live longer than you expect to. For Liza, the spectacle isn't just entertainment, it's a non-negotiable part of her existence.
We've uncovered such vastly different paths for these three siblings. So looking back at the children of Judy Garland, what does this all mean?
I think it means we've successfully outlined three distinct but equally valid strategies for surviving inherited celebrity and all the baggage that comes with it.
We have Liza, the performer. She chose resilience, literally defying death, using performance as her weapon.
Then there's Lorna, the chronicler. She chose advocacy, control. She owns the family narrative and acts as its public shield.
And finally, Joey, the private preserver, who chose a total, calculated retreat into anonymity to protect his own memories and his own emotional stability.
Their story is a powerful reminder for you, our listener, that there is no single right way to handle a painful legacy.
They all lived under the same immense shadow of talent and tragedy, but they each found their peace in wildly different ways.
Which leaves us with our final provocative thought for you to consider.
If inherited fame carries such an enormous, often destructive price, whether it's Liza's physical wear, Lorna's constant public duty, or Joey's necessary isolation, which of these three siblings actually found the most sustainable, the healthiest path to long-term peace?
Which strategy, the retreat, the chronicling, or the fierce resilience, offers the most enduring freedom from the burden of being Hollywood royalty?
You've been listening to The Deep Dive, where we uncover the true stories behind the headlines. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives that keep the stars shining.